I mean, the story of the night, of course, was Kyler Murray and him running around the edge. And as soon as he planted his foot in the ground, I mean, I was sitting there with my wife, and I went, "Ooh, wait, something's hurt," And I couldn't tell at first. I was like, "Wait, is that his knee or was it his hip?" Because the way he just kind of let his leg go limp. But, man, that was a shocking moment, especially when it happens that early on in the football game. You're just kind of settling in and getting comfortable on the couch, and, hey, this is great to watch, and then a great player like that gets hurt. It's kind of a buzzkill early on.
Yeah, and he knew right away
he did.
Something serious had happened. All indications are pointing to a torn ACL for Kyler Murray. MRI coming today, and folks get confused, and rightfully so. Well, how do they know for some guys that it is and other guys it isn't? With Von Miller, they had to go in and do exploratory surgery.
Right.
They knew that it was. When you start moving that knee around and there's no stability in it, it's because there's no ACL.
Yeah, there's no connection.
If they're doing the basic manual physical shifting, they know. And it's just a matter of confirming it. And I think the real question is associated damage. What else has been done beyond, if anything, the ACL? We may hear reports today it was a clean ACL tear, which is bad, but it's not as bad as it could be because then it's easier to recover from it. But let's hear from Cliff Kingsbury on what happened to Kyler Murray last night and where things were looking as of the ending of the game.
It doesn't look good, but we'll know more in the morning. Yeah, it's tough. There's no doubt. You see teams go through it every week, but you lose your starter on third play of the game. Kind of a deal, non-contact. It's just tough to watch and see, and you got to be able to rebound and continue to play the game, though. Yeah, I mean, we just was kind of asking what was going on from the medical staff, and obviously it didn't look good, and I've never seen him in that type of shape, so I assumed it wasn't good.
Yeah, we saw some emotions on the field. He held it together until he was in the tunnel. Lisa Salters of ESPN said that he was very emotional in the tunnel. He knows what it is, and I think we all knew right away. You kind of hope for good news because we saw it the day before with Deebo Samuel. We thought he was done for the year.
Right.
We thought he had torn ACL. You don't say it out loud. You don't want to speak it into existence. You don't want to be wrong. You don't want to speculate. It's funny. I see more and more, though, on broadcast. People will say we're not going to speculate, and then they go ahead and speculate.
Right.
It is somewhat comical when they do that, but nothing comical about the injury. We know it can happen in any sport. You're talking about non-contact knee injury. It's not a product of the violence of football unless it's a Deshaun Watson situation. Remember when he tore that ACL in his rookie year, 2017, he told us at the Super Bowl following that season that it happened to him, he believed, 4 days before during a game against the Seahawks. He was fine, and then he's just running in practice, and it goes. So it's possible there was already some damage from a hit that he actually took. It was just a matter of time before it went. But when it goes, it can go without contact. We've seen it before, and unfortunately we'll see it again. By the way, the show is PFT Live presented by Google Pixel. Learn more at googlestore.com. PFT Live is on Peacock, Sirius XM 85, Sky Sports NFL, podcast, wherever you get your podcast. Good morning. Hello, how are you? It's not a good morning for the Arizona Cardinals, though, because that is horrible news. And, Chris, before we get
game changer. Yeah.
Anytime you have that happen, it's obviously the commencement of an extended period of unavailability while the player rehabs. And we hear all the time how grueling it is. It's intense. It's you've got to rebuild your own knee from the inside out. And we got spoiled by Adrian Peterson, who tore his ACL Christmas Eve 2011 at FedEx Field and was good to go week one against the Jaguars 2012 and went on to win the MVP award that year and nearly set the single-season rushing record. But we also see guys who take 11 months, like Odell Beckham Jr. This time around, he's doing this free agency tour. His knee's not ready. He tore the ACL in February. So we get a December 12 ACL tear for one of the most mobile quarterbacks in football who requires straight line speed and side to side and sudden change of direction where you're putting stress on everything inside those joints. it makes me think that it will take even longer to get to the point where you're 100% confident he's good to go.
Right.
They need to have a plan for next year that consists of a veteran quarterback who is ready to go week 1 in the event that Kyler Murray isn't. Whether it's Colt McCoy or somebody else, and there's been some thought that maybe it's Colt McCoy's last year, they need to have somebody who's ready to play, because you can't just assume Kyler Murray is going to be good to go week 1 next year, Chris. We just don't know, and we won't know until possibly it's too late for the Cardinals to do anything about it.
No, that's right. I mean, they're going to have to – I think they have to – you almost have to plan for that and then just hope for the best, but plan for the worst there. I think it's one of those. I mean, yeah, it's a game changer here. And Mike, you're right. I mean, again, he's a mobile quarterback, and for a lot of the times, the non-contact injury is the one that's scarier to all of us watching than the Deebo Samuel or the Von Miller get your leg caught under because you go, ooh, maybe that's a high ankle sprain and maybe you avoided it. But when you just see, jam foot in the ground, leg give out, it's almost always ACL. And then, I think on top of that, yeah, you're talking about a guy who has won a Heisman and got the second biggest contract in the history of football, because not only can he throw it, but he's got slot receiver, third down running back type of moves and speed to break people down and make people miss that way. Now, playing quarterback, it is, you don't need to be like that, but that is Kyler Murray in his game. So, yeah, maybe he can get back faster than a wide receiver or whatever else. But to your point, even if he does, it's not going to be 100% Kyler Murray where he's going to be able to, beep and be the road runner and just make people miss everywhere. He'll have to play a different style of football at first and probably be a little bit more in the pocket and a little more conservative with his movements in that way. So it's a game changer from that standpoint. To your point, wait, we got to do that. It's a game changer also in the fact that we look like we could be heading down a road. And I don't know. I mean, again, I know they showed a graphic last night of Cliff Kingsbury could be on the hot seat. They could be fired. It could be a new coaching staff. Now you miss those reps, and now that new coach has got to think about, wait, I got the Arizona job. I'd like to take it, but when Kyler Murray going to be healthy? So there's a lot of things that go into play with this, horrible injury, and it changes the dynamic of the organization.
I think it actually could help Cliff Kingsbury in
a
roundabout way.
Right.
Because you've got enough uncertainty at the quarterback position. Let's not complicate our lives. Let's not put ourselves in a position where we can't attract the best possible replacement. Because the time is coming when these jobs are going to open up, and you always want to be the team that's in the position to hire the guy with options. There's always the guy with options. You don't want to be the place where the only way you're getting a coach is if you offer the job to somebody who's got nowhere else to go, who just wants to be a head coach. Well, okay, I kind of would have liked this one, but I'll just take this one because I want to be a head coach. You want the person who's in demand, who's being pulled in different directions. Now, that doesn't always work out. Just ask the Carolina Panthers. They won the tug of war for Matt Rule, and they probably wish they would have lost it in hindsight. But that dynamic now in Arizona with Kyler Murray uncertain to be available week 1. A plan needs to be in place with another quarterback. You're not going to transition away from Kyler Murray. You sign him to a long-term contract. You have a manageable cap hit next year of $16 million. But under the current structure of the deal, 2024, the cap hit becomes $51 million. And you've got guarantees that aren't going away. So Kyler Murray isn't going anywhere, and you may have a hard time getting a coach to come there knowing that this Kyler Murray thing is up in the air, and it's going to be hard to be successful right away. Although you go next level cynical, you could have some coaches say, I get a redshirt year. I get a scholarship year.
Yeah, that's right. They might be appeal to coaches. Right. Yeah.
I've got some time to put my systems in. Nobody's expecting me to win right away.
This year, right.
I'm talking my way to either side of it. But from the Cardinals' perspective,
right,
just the overall chaos they're dealing with, it may be better to put a pin in this one and keep it. But yeah, this hot seat thing with Cliff Kingsbury, we don't know the details of his contract.
No.
I still think it's fishy, Chris. And I don't know that we've talked about it here, but I've been asked about it from time to time when I do radio spots. The idea that he has a contract extension that just fell out of the sky at a time when there were all sorts of indications of dysfunction with the team. There were reports Michael Bidwell was pissed off, as he should be. 10-2, and it falls apart, and they looked horrible in their playoff loss to the LA Rams. then as this is all happening, and the agent represents both Cliff Kingsbury and Kyler Murray, Eric Burkhart has both of them, and I think that Burkhart, I don't know this, but I got a pretty good idea. He made it clear to the Cardinals they were going to have a Kyler Murray problem if they fired Cliff Kingsbury. He's just doing his job. He's using his leverage. All of a sudden, Kingsbury and Steve Keimer extended through 2027 with no further details. Nothing about how much money, nothing about how much of it's guaranteed. Just they're extended through 2027 as announced by the team, and no one ever had any more about it, which means it wasn't anything to brag about because the agents can't help themselves. When it's something to brag about, we find out what it's worth. We find out the terms. We find out more. We found out everything about Kyler Murray's deal, for example. So I think that the cost of parting ways with Cliff Kingsbury after 1 year of this new contract may not be as much as we would think. So that's a factor as well.
Yeah.
And the team it was undisciplined all night. They kept calling him out on the broadcast. The offense, all these pre-snap penalties that just sputtered. Now, Colt McCoy got thrust into the mix, but it's not like he hasn't played. He played earlier this year. It's got to be crisp. It's got to be clean, and it didn't feel that way last night.
No, that's why that's why to me it's scary, and in a lot of ways, listen, I know we're going to talk about the Patriots, the winning football team here. Hey, they did some good things, but the Patriots are not the Patriots we're used to. I mean, the Patriots were getting penalties and they're sloppy all over the place too. It was a night where you're sitting there going, man, the Patriots are. I don't think I've seen them this sloppy, turning the ball over, little clock management issue here and there. Then of course the penalties, and they're one of the league leaders, right? Kyler Murray gets hurt. You think, oh man, that's a big time deflator right there. Like, man, the Cardinals they're going to rebound. They hang in there. I give them credit for that. They rally and are going toe to toe with the Patriots. And then go beyond toe-to-toe with the Patriots. Now we're and this is where I get into the head coach thing, because a lot of the problems seem to go back to the offense and the head coach more times than not. And that's supposed to be the bread and butter thing of the Arizona Cardinals. So that's where it's a little weird, or it doesn't make sense. But like, Mike, I look at the game and go, wait, Cardinals weathered the emotional storm of Kyler Murray getting hurt. They're up 13-7, right? And to me, a Cliff Kingsbury self-inflicted wound started the problem with the game and where it all went downhill. And Courtney, I don't know if we got the tape or not right now, but like, it's 13-7, it's 4th and 1, and you're not that good of a football team, and you got a backup quarterback and you're controlling the game, right? Now, Colt McCoy certainly could have thrown a better ball. I don't know what he was doing. He got caught like jumping in the air and throwing at the same time, Mike. But even though with that, yeah, he should have thrown a better ball. You take the field goal and go up by 2 scores against the New England Patriots. They're going to get the ball back after a kickoff with early 20 seconds, 22 seconds. Instead, you give them momentum. It's 13-10 at half. Now it's the Belichick scenario. He's going to get the ball to start the drive in the third quarter. What do they go down and do? They kick a field goal. Now it's a tie game. So a game you've controlled, really, after a horrible injury. And now here you are at a 13-13 football game, and one team has the total momentum, and Pierre Strong makes the great run, which that was cool to see, a rookie running back that, was forced on the Patriots to play, and he's got some talent there. And then comes the DeAndre Hopkins loaf of bread, like your son was talking about, fumble. So you've outplayed a team, gave them a jump off of momentum. And to me, that just was the whole mismanagement of the game right there, and where it all started to go the wrong direction. And the unfortunate thing is it traces back to the offense and not being able to protect the quarterback and just mismanagement of the game. And those are head coach problems, and especially when he's the OC to go along with it.
But I'm very confused by
what
assessment of that situation,
Why?
because it's my understanding from watching a lot of football in recent years that you have to be aggressive as a
you were like, I was like, wait, did I miss something? You had me going there for a second where I was like, wait, did something I miss in the game that I'm not that I glossed over?
Aggressive.
Aggressive. You're never
aggressive.
Wrong. aggressive. I don't know, Mike. I don't know if you agree with me, not. But to me, it's one of those that you talk about all the time.
Always go up 2 scores if you can.
Right.
Always go up 2 scores.
I don't care what the analytics say. And the pasta and meatballs gut of the night is like, wait, this is a field goal. None of the offenses are doing that great type of night. So you do go up the 2 scores there. And to me, that's where they dropped the ball. And then that's where they lost momentum of the football game and never really recovered it. And, that's unfortunate from their standpoint, especially after they rallied after the injury.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.